My buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person.
Third
That's
person.
weird.
The way you feel.
Happy Lunch Day Espresso Live. I have my coffee. Dave has his coffee. Sal has his coffee. And everybody that's joining in that doesn't have their coffee, get your coffee, because this is a
It's coffee break.
it's a coffee break, or as the Yanks would call it, the water cooler chat, or as anyone else around the world would call it with some decency, the espresso chat. So surprise, not scheduled, but there was a couple of articles that broke this morning, some trending things that were going on, and Dave and I were reading the tabloids and all the shenanigans, and the lack of education of some folks reporting it forced mine and Dave's hand to go live. So thanks, folks.
I tell you.
Thanks, folks, for not doing your due diligence, making us having to spend our Friday day off going on live. I'm just kidding. I like talking to you guys anyways. So
Yeah. Last day off, technically. Gotta
right.
go back to work here on Monday, but it was fun. Got to spend some extra time with you guys. So let's do it. There is a bit of news, I think, as we try to do here, instead of so much sensationalizing things. That's what Wednesday's for, honestly. We sensationalize Wednesday, so at least we have a day to have fun. But the rest of the time, we got to be serious and actually look at what's on the table. I saw some misreporting today, honestly, and just to clear the air in case things got jumbled up in the confusion with all the morning hype, because it was honestly like 6 a.m. this morning, 6:30 Eastern time. So it happened pretty early. I think a lot of people woke up to just like the list of it. Luckily, I was up and I saw it trickle in and was able to like tease it apart as it came. But and it's trickling in right now. There's just another one from Romeo. So I mean, let's just get through it. Let's get through it, Dash. You nice and warm now? He was up taking the Christmas lights off the house.
I was, and I am a little bit warm. So I think the first article that I saw waking up this morning, because I believe Allegri teased it in a conversation, is this formation here, yonder. So it's going to be a 3-4 or 3-4-2-1 with your back three of Bremer, Danilo, Gatti, and your midfield four of Cambiaso, Rabiot, Locatelli, and McKennie, and then your pseudo attacking midfielders in Chiesa and Yildiz, and then your out-and-out number 9 in Dusan. People are foaming at the mouths of this formation because of the match yesterday, and I am here to be your older sibling and shit on your day and say, temper your expectations. Relax. Because changing from what we're currently doing, which is something like this, to something like that, is quite a drastic system change.
It seems simple enough. I feel this is one of those classic cases because you can do it so easily in FIFA.
Yes.
That in real life people believe it. So no, you're gonna explain it, of course. But.
Yeah. And I threw it on Discord too to have for you guys to have a conversation about it there as well. If you've not joined the Discord, join the Discord so you can might feature in videos if you bring up good topics, and we'll ask for permission to use it. One of the reasons why I say that this isn't as easy as people are making it out to be is because you're essentially sacrificing a midfielder for another attacking midfielder. And this guy, Dusan's defensive work rate is not that great. Chiesa's defensive work rate,
it's okay.
It's okay, but not that great. And then same thing with Yildiz. Yildiz's defensive work rate is a question mark as well.
He hasn't really had to defend at all yet, has he?
Because one of these two guys need to support the midfield because you're losing an additional man. Because you're still expecting Cambiaso to push up and you're expecting McKennie to push up. However, now the issue is where originally the inversion of the wingback and the midfielder would happen at this phase of the game. this is normally where it would normally happen, but when you do this formation, your inversion happens up here.
Where the low block happens in Serie A.
Where a low block happens, which dangerously exposes you into a counterattack if you are
Look at
not
all the space
properly
too.
covered.
Yeah, look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because these guys will push up here. You have Gatti essentially on his own for this area, Danilo on his own in this area here. So offensively, it looks fantastic. I love it. It's great. Defensively or proper balance of the game, no bueno. No bueno whatsoever, because you're expecting one of these guys in Chiesa or Yildiz to drop down, and then people start saying Allegri switch Chiesa to a left back. And
It works great for a game like yesterday.
it works, yeah, it works
Obviously.
great when the other team has no offense, but
But for like match
um,
day 21 in Serie A, whoever that might be, like is that going to work week in
yeah,
week out?
this one is difficult because you're going to be expecting a lot out of Rabiot and Locatelli to cover all of this space to assist in covering this zone here. And honestly, that kind of negates Locatelli's ability, right? Because yesterday, everyone can say Locatelli had a pretty damn good game. Why? Because he was able to take the ball halftime and move it. McKennie goes in the middle if something happens, but then who's covering the right? Dana's music.
Yeah, and then that's a lot of space to track into as well.
So you're forcing McKennie to cover all this area here, and then again, I don't like Yildiz, and I don't think Yildiz performs his best when he's out here. I think Yildiz is great in a central position. So moving McKennie to go back down into the middle, again, that doesn't help. It doesn't sort your issue that you have with
It's
this.
not that this is a bad formation. It's just
It's
put
good
it in the
offensively. Defensively, it's not.
think Allegri ball, right? How does Allegri want to play this team with the people that are at his disposal to do so? And I mean it is nice. It's exciting. I think a lot of people want to see the offensive football because it is exciting, but you do see the glaring weaknesses there, and it would ask quite a bit from Danilo. Like we don't have those profiles. Like yeah, Cambiasso, McKennie, they can run a lot.
You'll
They can, but Danilo Gatti can't.
effectively you're going to neutralize Cambiasso in this formation because Cambiasso will have to stay close to cover and make
Yeah.
up for Danilo's shortcomings.
Exactly.
So it's going to be like this. In actual honesty, Keiza's just going to hog this whole area of the pitch. Dusan's going to be here, and then like McKennie and Yildiz will try to do something with Gatti pushing forward, and then Loca trying to slot here.
And then you're not really in a proper 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-3. What do we say? Jesus, gets confusing. The 4-3-1-2.
So Dana says can be a back four on the defense. We're talking about counterattacks. You're getting to get open for a counterattack. You won't be able to have enough time to get back into a back four. Because
it's if you had like a Joshua Kimmich or Alexander Arnold and Alphonso Davies, the guys that just like run for 90 minutes and don't stop, you could probably pull it off.
Because when you're not in possession, it's easy to slot in like this, right? You can do this. You can slot defensively into a 4-3-3 shape when you don't have the ball. The problem is when you have these guys forward and you're trying to build something out of it, and then you turn over possession. That's the issue. The issue is when you lose possession in this area here, you leave Gatti, Bremer, and Danilo in really bad positions.
Gatti's too rough around the edges, and Danilo's too old
slow.
and slow at this point. It's you don't have the right profiles, and I think that you would see them exposed a lot more, and the defensive record. Well, it wouldn't be a defensive record anymore.
Yeah,
That's our take, anyways. That's how we feel.
that was the one thing I kind of wanted to address because on paper it seems great, but when you're actually doing it, it's difficult. Or it's darn it, these markers. It's a lot easier, as Sal is saying here, to run something like this. Move Locatelli here just for now. It's easier to do this because you still have that fifth body that's essentially focused on watching the area centrally. Even if it's Yildiz instead and Locatelli's playing as a pivot, you still have that midfield triangle. So it still makes more sense, and you can do it because you're essentially just shifting the starting position of your deep lying midfielder to a more offensive lying midfielder.
Yeah, so if we
You're
keep the 3-5-2 essentially, so how we want to say go back, we have Pogba healthy, available, or even Fajoli, but let's say more so Pogba, who would be the more front-footed central midfielder. It would almost transition like Locatelli dropping back. You'd have Rabiot playing more centrally and Pogba pushing forward. Like if you employed Yildiz in the Pogba role, if you will, you can in effect get a 3-4-1-2 in a transition.
Yes. Yes, and then like for example, how it would work because Allegri is very dynamic in his tactics. So in possession, we shape up like this. It's a 3-4. It's a 3-4-1-2. Defensively, what'll happen is Loco will shift down here in the deep lying role, and then Yildiz will shift and occupy this role here. This is normally what would happen. So, and then when there's a build-up play, essentially the ball kind of moves to Loca. Loca goes into the 4-2, the 4-2 build-up. Then Yildiz and McKennie essentially form this lock here where the ball builds up here, and then whether it's Dusan or Chiesa, and then it moves forward.
When we drop back, it's essentially like a low block 4-4-2.
It is. In theory, it is.
Yeah, and Dana says actually like retreat. It's not just mid game; it's just whenever they're on a heavy attack or when they were letting the other team have the ball and they're trying to absorb. Yeah, they drop into that.
Yes.
They're essentially putting 8 guys in front of the box.
So I think there's going to be a couple of things that you need to prevent the counterattacks. Obviously, you would need Yildiz and Chiesa to have proper football IQ to understand where the ball is moving and kind of essentially covering and doing things correctly, properly, because one of those two have to be mentally mature enough to cover the gaps because that's their responsibility for it. Right now, would I change to that? No. The only time I would really the only time you can experiment with something like that would have been yesterday, just because Salernitana just doesn't have anything really going, and it's a Coppa Italia match. But
Well, we saw a bit of everything. We saw the whole kitchen kind of thrown at it yesterday.
pretty much, I mean, in theory, and this is just me using arbitrary players here, but I think regardless, I think in the future we're going to start to look like this, whether people like it or not. I think the end game is going to be this, the 4-2-3-1. Because it still provides him 3 midfielders in the middle of the pitch, 3 guys in the middle. You have essentially this will air quotes free Chiesa, as people have been complaining on Twitter, and then also free whoever's going to be your right winger.
Is it like free Britney?
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are reading a little bit too much into his performance yesterday. Well, I thought it was just interesting because it's like I was like okay with it. I didn't have an issue with it. There's some things that I had an issue with his performance, and there was other things that I liked, but like. It was, remember the one time for the Ukraine game where everyone's like, Chiesa had 5 out of 5 successful dribbles and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, someone's like, well, didn't Chiesa have 2 out of 7 successful dribbles? And, like all the stats that they said, but in a negative connotation. They're like, well, you can't use those stats because I saw things differently and you didn't watch the game. And
Yeah,
I'm like, sitting here. I'm like, what?
you have to be objective about things.
You have to.
And because... Guys, I've been fanboying over Chiesa for a while. He's the only guy I have a name on for a jersey, the number 22 rookie. Love him, but I mean, let's look at it for what reality has shown us yesterday, and then obviously a mediocre presentation.
And then obviously, of course, Jeff, this is going to be Weah. I just was too lazy to type in Weah for this one.
Oh man, if you just got to roll with the general here because we'll be here forever.
I know because look, I have to like type it in and redo it, but
and
like
Cambiasso could technically. I mean, Weah.
No, of course,
or whatever.
Of course, because in theory, Danilo wouldn't even be here. It would be Cambiasso that'd be covering the left back. And then if we wanted to be really, I would say Danilo benches Gatti in the
sure. I mean, we can tinker all day.
Well, yeah, we can tinker with this all day, but guys, just don't take the names literally. This is just me showing a future state of the formation.
Sir, we didn't reference Weah with his
BBR.
Jesus Christ, guys. I love it.
Oh, that was a fun conversation in pro clubs last night.
That is, for those who didn't catch it, it's the big black rocket.
Yeah, and Sal brings up the most logical point here, right? The offensive people that are hoping for this, it won't happen until we have a proper Mercado with a legit right back, left back. Yes, absolutely. Cambiaso will be a fullback. Yildiz, Rabioloka, McKenny, BBR. Can we talk?
Well, we
talk
touched on it a
about this
little bit,
before.
how you can transition into a 3-4-1-2. It's just I really love defensively how it works now with Locatelli dropping back into the defensive line, because as boring as it is, I mean, you just got to learn to love to embrace the Cortomuso and how defensively solid we've been. I mean, a few hiccups, yes, but those are moments of weakness in time. Overall, if you look at the whole defensive picture of this team, it's hard to really find a much better system in Europe, in the world right now, I think, honestly.
Yeah, everybody's running the back three at this point just because there hasn't.
But I'm saying, like, our specific version.
Oh, yeah.
Of it. Like, it's amazing, especially with who we're doing it with.
I'm just going to say this. Pep Guardiola runs the same system.
Yeah, so I'm perfectly happy. It's nice to talk about all these different formations, like, theoretically. But again, I'm just putting myself into Allegri's shoes. What would Allegri do? And that's what I'm gonna focus most of my time and energy in, because that's what we're gonna get.
I would say, just trust him, man. He's got us this far right now. He's earned my trust. Just let him do what he's got to do.
Yeah. Again, theoretically, it's cool, but we're in for it. We got Allegri ball. It is what it is.
And the main thing that I kind of want to illustrate, and I really want to stress, is despite the result yesterday, temper your expectations. Enjoy it. Like I said yesterday, enjoy the 6-1. Enjoy Chiesa making a guy face plant onto the ground because he broke his ankle so hard. Enjoy it. I'm not telling you to not enjoy the win. Temper your expectations. Because the number one thing I saw this morning after this game was people saying, I thought everyone said all these, people were saying that Allegri doesn't have the talent, doesn't have this, or is making the best out of a squad or overperforming with it. Guys,
it was one Copa match against
one Copa match against a squad that's not even a Serie A squad at this point.
What if now, let's just say we lose on Sunday. What do these same people say?
If we
tie or lose, whatever, we drop points. What do these people say?
They didn't start Yildiz and Chiesa as a front two, or something stupid.
Again, like, let's stop looking for excuses and let's just look at reality for how it's presented. But anyways, Dash, there's supposed to be a quick coffee break, and you've ranted on this formation.
Took 18 minutes. All right, let's go on to the news. New news.
Hey, Dean, hoisin sauce. So, let's get through the actual details here, because just the way they came out today, it was disjointed, to say the least. So,
it was a fucking mess.
This is the latest from Romeo Agresti, and latest. This is a few hours old now by this point. But a simple loan, 6 months, dry to Roma, 700,000 euros, which, if he plays at least 10 games, it becomes 500,000 euros. Now, in exchange with this deal, we get Luigi Cherubini. And this is a funny one as well. So his contract ends in 2024, at the end of the season.
Who, Hoyson's?
Cherubini's.
Oh, you got to make sure you state that because people get confused.
Yeah, no. Well, Dean's, and that should actually be noted, Dean's is said to extend to 2028, another year on his contract to facilitate this loan. I heard that from one of the sources. I don't know if that is becoming true. Nothing official. Again, little details have kind of been tossed around. Now, Cherubini will come for free, essentially. But we have to give 50% of any future sales if we keep him. Which is hefty, especially if this guy kind of pops off. But he's a 20-year-old playing for Roma's Primavera.
Which
Is he gonna be like a world class player at this point? Likely not. It's probably not gonna be a super expensive profile down the
He's
line.
going to go to the next gen.
Immediately, so yes, he's going to the next gen, and we see the next gen again. We have to bolster the next gen. So this is, I'd like this. Gintoli is essentially getting a few $100,000 to get Dean some playing time, some consistent playing time. Well, he gets another guy that he's likely going to keep if things work out for his next gen team, which might be some plus Filenza down the line. Again, 50%, but you never know. Now, what people have to keep in mind, because I heard a lot of this, oh, he should have went to Frosinone. What's he going to Roma? And I know what us as fans screw Roma. I get that. However, the will of Dean was to go to Roma. I don't know if there's any certain allegiance one way or the other. Roma is a higher profile club, but they have no defenders left. They're all injured, and the rest are going to the AFCON. Dean's going to get playing time because there's nobody left. He's going to play. So he's going to be playing for a top team now instead of a bottom team, which is that much better. And like Mourinho as well. He's going to be under the tutelage of Mourinho.
Also, you got to add the thing, right, Dave? They said if he plays 10 matches, that loan fee goes down from 700 to 500. So
Yeah.
Roma right now, ladies and gentlemen, Roma have a center back crisis. They do, because they were trying to get Bonucci from Berlin, and they were like, no, this doesn't make sense. So they also only have 1.6 million in spending power. So they just used half of it on Dean. So if Roma, which I guarantee you they're going to try nickel and dime it, they're going to try to make sure he gets 10 appearances, so that goes down to 500,000. Also, with Frosinone, it would take longer for him to integrate to Frosinone than he would at Rome. Here's why. Roma are competing for top 4. They are competing for the Europa League. They are also competing against Lazio in the Coppa Italia. Look, with all due respect, Frosinone's Coppa Italia is done this Thursday. I'm not trying to be a
we
dick,
would like to hope.
We would like to hope that their run is done. So less pressure by Excusio, or less pressure by Frosinone to put him in. They don't have any reason to say, okay, you're starting day one. This is going to be a test on Hoyson on himself, because the kid wants to bet on himself, which I can respect that. But at the same time, I hope you perform, buddy, because you are going into what is a center back dumpster fire right now. The reason why, the Olympico is one of the worst pitches to play on, so I hope his knees come back intact. But you're also going under Mourinho. Mourinho is a great defensive coach, can teach you the defensive basics of the game outside of Allegri. However, that guy is toxic as all hell. So there's a couple of negatives that go to it. But at the same time, if he's able to do it, if he's able to feature and get some great minutes or some great stuff, he comes back and he essentially easily makes an express move towards being Danilo's succession plan.
That very well could be the case. And I think Mourinho and Allegri know each other. They talk. They probably have WhatsApp contacts and stuff. I'm sure the parties involved also know what's at stake here.
Also, we just poached Roma's best prospect.
They're desperate. They're desperate. Really, they are. And the Salcat here saying Roma got hosed classic and totally. They've been put between a rock and a hard place. Well, and this is the difference. Look at Juve. We got thrown in a corner hard on multiple fronts last year. What are we doing about it? Moving forward. What's Roma doing about it? They're panicking.
Yeah. Well, and here's the funny thing, because I kind of wanted to call it out on misreporting, but like IFTV was saying, oh, yeah, look at the Mourinho effect. And it's like, do you not realize that Giuntoli absolutely hosed Roma and Mourinho for this? Because they said, yeah, we'll give you Dean. However, you got to pay $700K, which is half your budget in a sense. And also, you need to play him. If you want a discount, you need to play him.
And I love that, because it goes from like half of their budget to a third of their budget just by playing them.
And we get your best prospect in return.
It's when I saw that, like, I was just like, I mean, perfect. Like, it's beautiful.
That is the definition of a sporting director that knows what the hell he's doing. That is one of the best moves I have seen come out of a Juve deal in what, 10 years maybe? And let's be honest
Pretty
with
good.
you. Hoyson doesn't have any street cred. The Milan game is the only game that he's played in Serie A this
He
season.
really doesn't. We're fanboying again on our
I'm not
youngsters,
yeah.
but
And I'm not saying that this guy sucks or he's a generational
he's
talent or
unproven.
anything like that. But the fact that you're able to get a prospect of yours dry loaned to another club, a top club, top 6 club, force them to play him, and then you take their best youngster in return. That is
As
the absolute definition of
as long as the
hosing them.
Stadio Olimpico doesn't claim his ACL, that's the only thing.
That's the only thing I'm worried about.
That's it. And then hopefully the toxicity is more about learning experience than a lifestyle choice.
Because this is one of the holes that people might not understand or realize that we have. And this is what Costello, I think he's new, but this is what he brought up right here. We upgraded our next gen squad. Guys, our next gen squad this season has so many holes because we took
It's
Yildiz,
bad.
we took Hoyson, we took Illing, we took Moretti as well, even though it was last season, but we still took 5 guys from that roster, 5 starters in a sense. So
We are 1 point above relegation in Serie C.
So
we need
we
reinforcements.
need to stock the next gen because we took way too many young players out of it. And I mean, it's the only player that's hovering between up and down is Noge, but that's it. And he might
Hassa, maybe.
Haas
He hasn't
been brought
played
up
yet, but he's kind of like thrown on a sheet once in a while.
Yeah, so I think it was phenomenal business by Gentoli, but at the same time, I need them to restock next gen. That's going to be something that's huge, and maybe Edits might be able to be that guy that'll help there as well. But you also need to bring in defenders. That next gen team needs to get, and that's why I'm a little bit shocked with Facundo going to Sampdoria instead of the next gen. But whatever, I guess that works. But
Maybe he's ready for the big leagues. That's what that's saying, is that they believe he's ready for the big leagues.
So, I mean, this is an up and up Juve, and that's one of the things that surprises me is how Juve's youth academy hasn't been promoted
Talked about at all anywhere other than here. Well, Beppe loses his mind.
Yeah, I mean Beppe, but
like
Beppe's.
within our communities.
I'm saying, well, and like in general, like in a sporting sense, like nobody, like as far as like ESPN or Sky Sports or anything like that, it's like, oh yeah, look at Juve's youth product. Yeah, like I have Inter folks telling me, like, dude, these guys got 5 first team players out of that, and we can't get one. Like
They'll
they're like,
start talking about it when we sell. We'll know who he is, obviously, but when we sell like a Sule, let's say, to the EPL for 60 mil, and they'll be like, where did that come from?
that's
and then they'll
also-
start paying attention.
That's also 2 more I forgot. We also took Sule and Berenacea out of the next gen as well. So next gen,
It's like 6 or 7 guys we took out.
8. We took out 8 players out of
So
next
there you
gen.
go. It's insane, and now they're almost getting relegated. So.
Yeah, are they superstars? No, I don't think. I think it's a little bit too soon to say that they're superstars. But like, there's gonna be. We've essentially nearly pulled the first team out of the next gen, and they're all gonna be performing. You don't need them to be, Phil Fodens of the worlds or Kylian Mbappe's. You just need them to be 40 to $50 million guys, so you can just flip some of them that you don't have room for. And
if
again,
we start getting plus 30 mil for any of these guys, we are doing well. Man, the amount of extra revenue that can generate is insane.
I'm telling you this. If Juve are going to dominate Serie A and Europe, it is going to be because of their youth program.
And not to say that like I'm a great general manager, I'm only doing this in a video game, but that's exactly what I do every year when I buy the game. Is I get rid of everyone over the age of 25, start from nothing, play the 18-year-olds, and in 3 years I'm winning Champions Leagues with 20-year-olds. So like, not to say that that's reality, but that's the general concept that Juve is doing, is that they have essentially gotten rid of everyone over the age of 25, other than 2. Was it you got Danilo and Rabiot?
Yes.
Chilio. I mean, if you count some of the deeper bench, right? But like the main squad is all under 25 years old, right?
Good chunk of it, yeah.
Think about when these guys are 27 and coming into their prime. Like Gatti right now at 25. as a central defender. Center backs don't really come into their own as like superstars until like 30, late 20s, right? So think of them in 3 to 5 years where it'll be.
Yeah. And speaking on this, they're talking about Haas on the first team. No, he's a next gen player. He can get called up, but he's not an official first team player.
No,
And
not
guys,
on the
man,
books yet.
if you have not seen Luis Hassa play, watch this dude play. He moves like Pirlo. His free kick accuracy is insane. His pass accuracy, he is like essentially what people, the way that he moves, a lot of people are dubbing him a Pirlo-esque player.
There's so many. I mean, how many comparisons of our young guys? And we got to be careful to do that. But
Of course.
I mean, Moretti has his comparisons. Fajoli, we got Haas, and now Yildiz. I mean, we're comparing all of these youngsters to superstars.
We're on the up.
All right, so enough of those two jokers. And he's Albanian. Who
I know. Too bad he's going to probably end up signing for Italy. So just don't. Yeah, Sal's just.
Oh,
rubbing it in right
Haas
there.
is Albanian. Okay.
Yeah, Hassa's half. He was born in Italy, but parents are Albanian.
All right, let's get on to the other trade rumor that looks like it's starting to pick up a little bit. Thiago Giallo. So his contract does run out from Lille at the end of the season, but to mostly just cockblock Inter. Have you heard this before? Cockblocking Inter for a defender?
When else have we not done that?
They have put on the table. Apparently, it's on the table. This is Agresti. 1.5 million plus bonuses to take him now. We'll see what happens. Keep in mind, he's coming off an ACL tear. He is going to be used in what I like to call the Caio George role, and that he's going to get pawned off to likely Frosinone if this goes through because they missed out on the Dean Huijsen defender. They might take this Thiago Giallo and get him back to fitness, hopefully. So that's where they are right now. He's, I believe he's 20. Let me look that up. I mean, I can share it. Let's share the transfer market thing on Giallo. Give me a quick sec here, guys. And I will bring it right up for you. Still loading. Okay, here we go. Okay, he's 23. So a bit older, 2000. Portuguese.
To answer your question, Dana, he's 100% Albanian. He was just born in Italy. He was born in Sora, Italy. So Hassa's parents are both Albanian, but he was born in Italy, so he has a Italian citizenship.
Okay. His value's only dropped 1 million.
Might want to share it. There you go.
Oh, I wasn't sharing. Sorry.
No.
I forgot to click the button. But yeah, valued at 16 million, and we might just snatch him for 1.5. And
Well, he's got a torn ACL, right?
well, he's recovered. But that's what I'm saying. He's likely going to go to Frosinone to recover. He's ours?
Talking about Hassa.
Like like Albanian yours?
Well, I'm just saying because he has an Italian citizenship, even though his parents are Albanian, but he's going to play for Italy. I mean, if Italy asks you to play versus Albania, I mean, you're kind of dumb.
Oh, I see. Sal's claiming him for the Italians.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
It's not like you haven't tried claiming us before in history. Yuck, 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 yuck.
Well, we have, depending if you call Romans Italian. Anyways. Okay, it still says return unknown, but from what I understand, he's ready to start getting some minutes again.
He left the Milan under 19s.
Yeah, so
Well,
he has...
Lille is actually more inclined to sell to Juve than they are to Inter because of the relationship we have with them.
And that they'll get money, because if they wait till... and that's the thing, there's actually an agreement in place with Inter currently.
There is, but Lille would prefer to sell.
Well, because they'll get 1.5 million plus bonuses opposed to absolutely nothing. And it's not like they need this guy to play because he's not playing right now.
Well, and then there's also the relationship between Juve and them, too. There's a really, really good relationship.
Yeah, no, that's...
too.
I mean, that's bonus from just the pure business sense. You take any, like, human aspect out of it whatsoever, and it still makes absolute sense. Yeah, you put the human aspect, the relationship we have, then it's basically screw you, Inter.
Yeah.
And Frank saying prior to his tear, he was playing well. Well, yeah, that's why he's valued so high. 23-year-old defender. Again, like we said, defenders, they take a bit longer to really come to their own. We got Gatti at 23. And, I mean, he was rough around the edges, but... And we paid $10 million for him. I don't know. Maybe there's something in this one, right? Is Gintoli cooking?
Maybe. I mean, I guess I think the only question for me is how they rate Hoyson, Rugani, and the other backups. Essentially, I mean, maybe he's just a replacement for Sandro. That's the only thing I'm thinking of.
Yeah, a depth piece, and maybe he turns out maybe he's plus Valenza.
Because it could be, part of me thinks there's two ways you can go about it, and Dana brings one up, right? I could be Juve trying to mess with Inter to try to force them to not either buy him because they think they're going to get priced out, or take him and just keep him and then flip him later. I don't know. The only thing, as far as from a sporting perspective, the only thing I can think of is him essentially being a backup for Sandro, but then that doesn't make sense for Hoyson, right? Like, where does Hoyson go? Because you have Rugani already, so you're back four right now because you have a four rotation of center backs. You have Danilo, you have Rugani, you have Gatti, you have Bremer, and then Sandro's your fifth option, and then Hoyson is your sixth. So if you move Sandro and you bring him in, as you would have six center backs, and that to me just seems too much. So I don't know. There might be more that's going on that we don't know, but I do think, and this isn't me knocking on Danilo, folks. I'm not knocking on him. I do think, though, you need to start putting in place a succession plan for Danilo.
Yep.
Because I don't believe he's going to be able to play until he's 37, 38. It'd be cool
Danilo,
if he could.
DeScilio, Sandro, these guys are coming to the end of their tenure here in the next couple of years. So, yeah. I mean, you got to start looking down the line.
Yeah, it's not me knocking on him or anything like that, saying he sucks or anything like that. Not at all. But it's...
This is what we should have done.
You got to look
because
at
we
it.
didn't, that's why we're in this situation we are now.
Yeah, because Danilo currently is 32 years old, and then I believe his contract ends after, not next season, but the season after, so he's going to be 34 years old. So you're going to want to start thinking of a succession plan at some point for him.
He's the guy that you'll keep around, maybe give him another +1 just to keep him in the locker room.
Yeah, I would say 36 is probably his cap.
Oh, tops. Yeah. I mean, 36, defender coming from being a right back. Sorry.
Because Brazilians, and this isn't a knock on Brazilians, but Brazilians don't tend to play that long.
They don't
into their
age
30s. They don't
but
age
maybe
well at all.
Danilo's not your typical Brazilian player.
Because, like, well, I mean, Marcelo, he essentially fell off. Him and Dani Alves practically fell off a cliff. I mean, Alves had some moments, but, like, let's look at how old Marcelo is currently. Marcelo is 35 years old.
Yeah. I mean, he's still decent, right?
But he's playing in Brazil. And then you also want to think that Danilo is going to want to go back and play in Brazil as well. And Silly Goose, Hoyson landed in Rome, no? Yeah, Hoyson's already in Rome. He's doing his medical.
Yeah, that was a few hours ago, I think.
Yeah.
3 hours ago now, yeah. I hate that airport. It's just a massive Gucci shopping mall. It's so trashy. Like, not trashy like the white trash kind of thing, but in like the rich, pretentious trash.
Fiumicino or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Fiumicino. It's just like it's Gucci, Prada, everything's blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I remember when I used to go there.
Is that a thing? Yeah, frequented Fiumicino?
No, well, I mean, yeah, on my way to Albania, yeah, that was the only best connecting because it would only be like a 35, 45-minute flight, so I would just go Rome, Tirana.
It's changed a lot, though. Like, when you were going through there, it was probably a dump.
Yeah,
now it's made out of like black marble.
You know? Yeah, mine was 10 years ago.
All right, because we said we want to nip some rumors and bad reporting and bullshit in the butt.
I think we covered everything, right?
No, there's the Padula.
Oh, the Yildiz shit.
Yeah, just because, I mean, we're talking shit about our boy. You're just trying to sensationalize the kid because all of a sudden he's just on the up and up, right? So I'll get the screen ready here. There it is. So from Alfredo Padula from TV dello Sport. Canadiel is not considered unsellable by Juventus and has strong interest from the Premier League. There could be offers in January between 15 million euros and 18. See, and that's, I mean, that sentence doesn't even make sense. So it's going to be between 15 million euros and 18 million pounds, I'm assuming, even though they're the same number because of the conversion. So, and this is the thing: if you're a reporter and your language is off, first red flag. Just saying, it's a flag for me. You gotta spell check, edit that stuff. I don't care if it's Twitter and you're just throwing shit out.
Premier,
you're professional.
The Premier League.
And they added an E, yes. And
Let's go to the Premier.
technically, if we're getting into it, Premier League should be capitalized because it's a proper name.
Premier. Let's go to the Premier League, guys. It sounds like a zesty EPL.
Yeah, so just tons. You can tell he was just blah, 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 just typing this shit out because that's what he was just regurgitating it, right? So why in God's name would we sell this kid for 15 million euro, all of us? Like, who are we? Where did this come from? Is this not, like, if you read this, where does your head go? Does it not immediately like start throwing up flags like this can't be true? This is insane. This is
I feel
ludicrous.
bad for Padula because you're just you're giving him this treatment right now. That's
But
Dave
no, like,
right now.
we have to hold our journalists accountable. All right, that's all it is. I've never met the guy. He could be a fantastic person. I really
Never
do
met the
not
guy,
know. But this kind of shit is sensationalized reporting, and I have it covered up. But there's other channels out there that regurgitate the bullshit. Basically, when you have trash, you put it in the trash heap. You don't put it in the recycling bin for it to get put back into use. And that's what this is. This is trash that got thrown in the recycling bin. Garbage man puts the sticker on the box, tells you to put it back out next week in the proper bin. Come on, man. Let's be realistic. And no, and that's the thing, right? No, technically, did he say anything? No, he probably had like a Newcastle or a West Ham saying, it's like, hey, I'll give you 15 million for this kid. Yeah, sure, that may have happened, but who cares? It's just like, oh, we're interested in Mbappe. Who isn't? We all are. Yeah, we all want Mbappe. Nobody's getting him. But let's have a report out there saying we're interested in him. It's the same shit. So, you know, normally I don't care. But when the bullshit gets regurgitated and you see it get thrown all over the place, especially when this is our rising star and we should be here celebrating him instead of sensationalizing a non-transfer of the kid. I mean, let's respect him for what he is. He just came off his best showing as a senior player. Let's be celebrating this kid instead of putting him in tabloids. That's what I got to say about it.
All right, Dana's asking about edits. Fuck, I can't pronounce today. We're not going to see him for about a year and a half. Half of the season, he's going back to Montenegro. He's going to play at the squad there. And then I think he's going to spend a full season at the next gen. So I'm going to say 2026 summer tour might be when we see him. But I think he's going to be a restock for next gen. They'll try him out there. If he performs, he gets called up, just like everybody else. At least he's not plagiarizing like that. Yeah, but
what's IFTV do? Or is it the Forza U stuff you're talking about?
They do that too, but like IFTV will sit there and be like, yeah, look at Mourinho, absolutely cool for getting Dean Huijsen. And then it's like, read the details, dude. Like, Roma broke the bank just to get him an unproven defender. Like,
bank, yeah.
Like, relax.
They can't even buy a Ferrari with their bank account right now.
Yeah, they can't.
Maybe like a 1984 like F40 or something that's been in the trash heap. But anyways, yeah, all right. That's had to have a few minutes of rant, I suppose, right?
You feel better now, buddy?
I do a little bit.
Didn't
even save it till Wednesday.
And then it says, yep, I am interested in Mbappe's POTM card on Football Offense.
Player of the month, yeah. But I only have. Well, you got to spend more money to maybe get him.
Oh man, Only for you, Jeff. I'm playing this.
Do it.
I'm gonna go watch Calcio. Calcio is life. I like Calcio. I like IFTV. Look, I'm wearing a Calcio hat.
Do they now? I am interested to see this.
Oh, Dave's about to go. It's such an amazing bit. I love every second of that bit.
I admittedly don't watch Pepe enough. I try to watch everyone a little bit, but
How dare you?
I mean, I try. Once in a while, I get in there. Not as much as I should, though, honestly. Have hung around some other channels this past couple days as well.
That's why you've been pissed off all week. God, I'm kidding. Or am I?
You just wake up and then your heart is just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so those moments are crazy.
Have to bring
You know, Hoyson is gonna learn how to be a beast from that guy.
It's true. But as Sal had alluded to, get in the Discord because honestly, that's where the conversation continues on outside of this bubble here. So there is I always do it wrong. It's right there. The barcode. This is so awkward. I'll get good at it one day. Scan that barcode or hit the description down below. Pro Club's happening. We did it last night. I actually got on a little bit too. And then I think we're going to start again tonight. Looks like the guys are getting together. So do that as well. You can win one of the 3 shirts, the 23-24 shirts. Bam! On the back of my wall in the prediction league that we have. Just whoever accumulates the most points at the end of the season. And for Copa, all competitions. They will get their pick. Pull it off my wall.
You know what? We got to cover this. This is a little bit, more to home for you, Dave. If you saw it.
I guess it's official today. That's true. Did
you see the way they did it?
No, I didn't really dive into it. But
we're gonna get a live reaction now. Oh, Dave, I got some fun for you.
Okay, let's see what we do.
Okay, here we go. I got it. I got to just share it now because I have it pulled up. Oh man, you guys are in for a treat. And there's a reason why people don't take Inter seriously. Oh, I got it, Sal. Don't worry.
Before I punch my computer off, please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe before Dave absolutely loses his shit. Here we go. The announcement of Tejan Buchanan to Inter.
What the? Are those pancakes?
Yep.
With maple syrup.
Can't wait to share good times together.
That was the worst. He's there. He probably doesn't. Okay, not to be like a racist prick about it, but he's an Islander that emigrated to Brampton. I'm sure he's cool with maple syrup, but he's not a goddamn French Canadian. He's not doing shots of it at lunchtime. He's not like, oh my god, maple syrup, this is the best shit ever. Because trust me, it is. Because I got maple trees in my backyard and I tap the ass out of those things and drain them of their sweet juices every year. But you can tell on Tejan's face that he doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, he hell
does does not give a fuck.
Why?
And yes, I grew up in Brampton, where that guy's from, and I know what it's like there. They got other things on the plate.
I don't know why. I don't know why Inter is just sitting there. It's just like, how was that a good idea? like their social media person. Like, how was that a good idea?
Because they're Italians. They don't know. They're just.
Hey, he's a Canadian. They get the pancakes and the syrup. It works. They make it.
And
good.
I shit you not. We take maple syrup to Italy and we trade it for olive oil. I mean, it's a currency.
Holy hell! Like if when we signed McKennie, we had him eat a Big Mac. Like that's how tone deaf that is. Like we didn't like like could you imagine that? Like if we signed McKenny and then it's just like, hey, like you have McKenny holding a Big Mac going like this. Hey everybody, excited to make more memories with you guys. Like oh man, I'm sorry, but this
And like they couldn't even teach him the Italian, like a sentence. He couldn't even be bothered to take the 2 minutes to learn a sentence
Ciao,
of
come stai,
Italian.
ragazzi. That's all he would have to say, but it's just enter when it comes to content.
Asshole, enter whoever the fuck comes in with their fucking iPhone 15s like, hey, Tasia, hey, Tasia.
Oh, that was hilarious. Oh man. Oh gosh, that was gold. I knew it. This was perfect because it's just like Dave didn't see it, and I'm like, oh, well, we're pulling this one up. Thanks, Sal, for an absolute gem. At least
boy,
wanna be like Juve's official content creator account. Juve's content creator is kind of funny. Like I'm not gonna lie. Whoever
they
does
do an
Juve's,
okay job.
It's funny sometimes.
Yeah, I don't have too many complaints on the Juve side. They do okay. Jeez, yeah.
I remember seeing their short video about Lautaro losing the ball multiple times. Yeah.
You can't do that, man.
Should have put Carragher saying, welcome Tejan to International. That's another clip. We're sharing that one. I'm finding that one.
Pull that one up.
Oh, that one's hilarious. Hopefully I don't get Paramount. No, I don't think Paramount's going to do anything to us here, but
That's the end of the video. I'll cut it out if we have to.
I know. It's fine.
Or, by the way, failed to mention this a couple of weeks back, but the Festivus special definitely got flagged and has minimal revenue generation because of people don't like to put ads on that shit apparently.
I guess not. I think we used a lot of all right, here we go.
I can't remember what I said.
Share this tab instead. So this was hilarious.
The games tomorrow, obviously the big rival of yours, Inter Milan, are in the other semi-final. Would you like that? A big semi-final with your biggest rivals?
I didn't understand. Can you repeat, please? Sorry.
They have the same problem in the studio.
It's difficult.
You play Inter Milan are playing tomorrow, Internazionale.
It's like Leo's like, huh? What?
Would you like to face them in the semi-final?
You like do? I didn't.
You like do what? You like do?
Oh man. We have to give 100%. Yeah.
Raphael, we appreciate you so much. You're not alone, by the way. This show goes out to America. You now understand how all of America feels.
All of America, yeah, watching this trash Paramount Plus.
It was a
That's the proper name. That's the name. Internazionale.
If you don't understand Inter, how is he going to understand
It was weird to try.
Oh man.
I've been laughing too much the past few days.
We fucked around way too much the past week.
Oh man! Even last night playing clubs on the Discord.
Oh god, we were wild last night.
I left with sore cheeks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, my cheeks were sore.
Face cheeks, right?
Well,
whoa!
Oh wow!
Whoa!
So, is your coffee done? Your French vanilla?
Oh, I'm wired. I am absolutely wired. I was going to say,
it's like, nothing but sugar.
He's like, I left with sore cheeks last night.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's doing it.
Oh man.
That's why he's the GOAT.
Dash on the soundboard.
There we go. Best was when Carragher roasted Miko. Yeah, dude. Del Piero cooked big meats. He cooked him.
Yeah, I mean. But anyways,
I've always had this thing where it's like I feel like Thierry Henry has like a secret crush on Kate Abdo. Like I've always felt that way because He's just always
He's a
rizzing
weirdo.
her up. He's rizzing her up. He knows his shit, though. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Thierry Henry knows his stuff, but
Sure.
like,
Doesn't
I
mean
think
I like him anymore.
well, that's fair.
It's just he's a douchebag. Is really all it is. The way he presents himself and how he acts, like he always knows things and he's better than everyone. And like, yeah, I get it. He knows things.
So you're calling him French?
He's extremely French. I guess that's the easiest way of saying it, isn't it? Thierry Henry is extremely French.
Oh, man. Well, so much for it being a 30-minute show. We went 25 minutes over, so don't say we don't love you guys. Man, all right. So call-in show tomorrow night so we can talk about this stuff, talk about the news and all the other funny stuff. And Eliad wants to say Parisian French. Oh, yes.
Yeah, from yesterday. Deep cuts. Love it.
And then he says, Carrier trying to pronounce Giroud's name.
Sure.
Giroud. We got ourselves Giroud here, and we're going to interview him for the post-Inter match. Oh, what a hoser, eh? Can't even pronounce that correctly.
Did you? Oh, again, in the Discord. Did
Yeah,
you?
I saw the clip where he said Dash does a better hoser accent than the guy in the game.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
I'm touched.
I got the music. Give us a hoser outro.
Alrighty. Me. All right. Alrighty. Thanks there, buds. Thanks for tuning into this show here, eh? Make sure you do the old like and subscriber Rooney. If not, we'll throw some maple syrup on you like Inter do it at Tejan Buchanan over there. And then also Dave will come out of nowhere and cross-check you. Trust me, Dave's quite fond of the cross-checking. Here's a live look at Dave cross-checking somebody too. So, make sure you like that. Also, we'll catch you out tomorrow in the call-in show there, right? And call in. We'll have some fun, some lollygagging and shenanigans, and we'll see you on Sunday. Sounds good, bud? Yeah, all right, bud.
Yeah, but I believe that's a charging call there. The skate's leaving the ice. Plus, hit to the head. That's a 5-minute major. See ya for the game. You're good. You're done. See you tomorrow.
You're done,
Have a
bud.
good one. Have a good one, guys.
Good night, buds.